Good morning, everyone. I told you guys to be on the lookout on Facebook on my movie review on the movie Whitney, which debuted yesterday on Lifetime. The movie is supposed to be a bio of the late and greatest love of all, Whitney Houston. And as I said before, it's just my personal opinion on it. To hell with everyone else's opinion. I have my own. You clearly see I once again have my notepad of notes and whatnot. I did this the last time for the movie Aaliyah, and that was a travesty enough. So I really wasn't going full on force with this movie because I figured that it might have been another sucky one like the Aaliyah movie was. But two different people directed, two different movies. So Wendy Williams unfortunately directed the Aaliyah movie, and if I had an opportunity to bitch slap her in her face for that travesty of a movie she did, I would do it and not think twice. The Whitney movie was directed by Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett and Whitney Houston were really close best friends, so I really can't. Sorry, I got a little cold. I can't really bash her on this because she was Whitney's best friend. So I'll tell you what I think of it. In all honesty, I forgot that the movie was supposed to have came on yesterday. I've been exhausted from work, so yesterday I was really exhausted. I was literally going in and out of sleep. It's crazy. But when you have 4 children, there's no way in the world you're getting any sleep until nightfall. So I went upstairs because I had fell asleep on my couch. Sorry, my couch. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm not really good with directions. You gotta give me time. But yeah, I fell asleep on my couch, so I went upstairs to our room to try to go to bed, but I couldn't. So I turned the TV on, and boom, there you go. There was a Whitney Houston movie. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and watch this. The character who played Whitney Houston herself. And please forgive me if I don't get all their names, if I don't say their names correctly. It's not to be disrespectful. It's just sometimes I can't pronounce your name all the way. The young lady who played Whitney Houston was Yaya DaCosta. I hope I said her last name right. I'm sorry. If you're all not familiar with Yaya, she was a contestant on America's Next Top Model, and I believe she was the runner-up. I forgot what season she was. It's been a while since I've seen America's Next Top Model. But yeah, she was contestant on that show. She played Whitney Houston. Now I saw her do another. I saw her do a photo, one of Whitney's photos, and I have to give it to her. She did have some similarities to the great Whitney Houston. So I can't really say nothing of a negativism in that part. She really did have some similarities to looking like Whitney Houston. So, and I can't really think of anyone else that could have portrayed her. And on that note, before y'all even start sending me comments and stuff, Bobby Christina, Whitney Houston's daughter, had some words to Angela Bassett for what she has done, not considering her for the role to play her mother. And last night after the movie, I did take it upon myself to go on YouTube, and there was this one woman who does reviews and talks about the social media comments and stuff on Twitter and Instagram and all the other stuff. And apparently, Bobby Christina was not very happy that Angela Bassett did not consider her for the role to play her mother. I read the messages and whatnot, and I even looked at the interview where Angela Bassett, forgives Bobby Christina, whatever, she has the right to feel the way she feels and leave it at that. But she honestly admitted she never did consider her for the role. She didn't know how she would have felt as far as portraying her mother and whatnot because of the closeness, whatever. This is my opinion on the matter. Bobby Christina, no offense to you, I don't know you like that. Okay, I've seen videos of you and your mother together on YouTube, and it's quite obvious that you and your mother had a very extremely close relationship, a strong mother-daughter bond, and I love that. But in all honesty, sweetheart, you can't act. I haven't seen you in any movies, so you have not produced any material that of any sort. You haven't been in any movies where you act, or had a major role in a movie, or at least had something, or a minor role in a major movie. So I can't really say you can act. And number two, I really don't think you can sing. I saw a clip of you singing one of your mother's songs, and yeah, honey, you were not even near close to sounding like your mother. No disrespect, I haven't even heard you come out with an album, let alone a music video, anything relating to music. So in all fairness here, I think Angela Bassett made a good call to not consider you for the role as your mother. And quite frankly, I mean, you're playing your mother, and then you're going to have a guy play your father. Do I really need to spell it out for you, ladies and gentlemen? No, thank you. If you're smart and intelligent, you know what I'm talking about. Diamond, knock it off. Sorry, my children are down here, and they're supposed to be quiet when I'm doing a movie, when I'm doing a video. Now, moving on. The guy who played Bobby Brown, I think you say his name, Arlen S. Carpenter. I'm sorry, like I said, I apologize for not getting these last names right. He played Bobby Brown. It's kind of like a reverse type mechanism here. What I mean by reverse mechanism, this is what I'm talking about. Now, if you all recall in the Aaliyah movie, the guy who portrayed R. Kelly, the man was too dark. Okay, R. Kelly is not dark skinned. He's more of my complexion, just a little bit more of a shade of brown, a little bit more, kind of like I guess like a caramel type color. There you go. He's like a caramel type color, you know, or even a chocolate color. So he looked nothing of R. Kelly. In this movie, Whitney, the guy who played Bobby Brown was not even Bobby Brown's shade of his skin color at all. So it's kind of what I mean by reverse mechanism. The guy who played R. Kelly was the complexion of Bobby Brown, and the guy who played Bobby Brown in the Whitney movie was the shade of R. Kelly. So they should have switched shade of color, to say the least. I'm sorry, I'm weird like that. I'm sorry if you didn't understand that, but like I said, it's like a switcheroo here. I will give him props though. He did play Bobby Brown very well, so I can once again, nothing negative on that part. He did portray Bobby Brown really well, and the chemistry that him and Whitney had in the movie. Once again, I don't know them personally. I don't know what was going on behind closed doors. You know, I was just hearing stuff in magazines and the media and stuff about these two. But when I watched the movie, I saw another side of Bobby Brown that I never knew he had. You know, when I look at Bobby Brown, I look at this guy as this very sexual, tough guy from wherever the hell he came from. I'm sorry. But in the movie, he was... he showed another side that I never thought I would see, and it was a sweet side. Like, there was a scene in the movie where Whitney Houston had suffered a miscarriage on the set of The Bodyguard, and she was devastated. I mean, what woman wouldn't be devastated to have a miscarriage, especially if she wanted a child with this man? So, and he literally dropped everything that he did to go to her, to comfort her and let her know it's going to be okay. It's not too late to have a child. When you are ready to have a child, I'm ready as well. Just the comfort that he gave her in the beginning of their relationship as it was progressing, it mind-boggled me. I was like, wow, Bobby, this is a side of you I never thought possible to see. It's a shame it took a movie to show that, but I mean, hey, we know now. So, thumbs up, Bobby. You really were a sweetheart. You really took in consideration what was going on and, with Whitney and the miscarriage. The one thing that I did call him on is that Bobby Brown had children with other women, and there was this one girl, Kim, that was in the movie, and he had 2 children by her. The second time that he found out Kim was pregnant, you know, he told Whitney, and she wasn't really ecstatic about it because she wanted to be the one to have his children. I agree. I agree. Bobby, what the heck? But he talked about, well, I didn't think that you and I were going to get back together. I didn't think you wanted to be with me anymore. So he went on about his business. Nigga, please, whatever. Whitney explained to you what the heck was going on. The least you could have done was be a little bit more understanding and give her time to get herself together. But you took it upon yourself to go screw this baby mama of yours and impregnate her twice. Yeah, but whatever. Sure. So that's another subject we should remain to talk about another day. Not. Moving on. Another woman who was a factor in Whitney Houston's life, and she came out the womb of this woman, her mother, who was played by Suzanne Douglas, and Whitney Houston's mother, Cece Houston. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry, Miss Houston. Her mother was not very fond of the fact that her daughter wanted to marry Bobby Brown. There was also a scene in the movie where Whitney Houston was telling all of her family that she was getting married, and everyone, I guess it was what her brothers and sisters, if I'm not mistaken, that was all in the room, and they seemed like they were excited. But all of a sudden the camera turned to the mother and the father. Mother and father looking like, I'm afraid to ask. Well, the father looked like he was afraid to ask, but the mother was like, please tell me it's not Bobby Brown. And Whitney was like, well, yeah, Mom, it is. And mother was like, you're making a big mistake. You can take the boy out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the boy. And, Whitney Houston was like, I love him. There's a side of him that you don't know, that you haven't seen and everything. She really was just defending this man at all costs. I mean, what woman wouldn't defend her man to her parents? I mean, hey, I've done it. I'm living proof. That's one thing me and her had in common. We defended our men to our parents. What the heck? And then when Whitney Houston had suffered the miscarriage, before Bobby came to the house, she called her mother and wanted her mother to comfort her and whatever. And, her mother was comforting her until she said, maybe it's a sign, to rethink things. And Whitney was like, a sign to rethink things? And then she was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You want me to rethink on not being with this man. That's not happening. And she really, she went off with her mom, was like, okay, you know what, you need to leave. Like, get out. Just leave. You're not supposed to disrespect your parents. Love thy mother. Honor thy father, honor thy mother is in the Bible. It's one of the 10 Commandments. Read your Bible. You know it. Telling her mother to leave, get out, disrespectful, but at the same time, she was upset. She just had a miscarriage, and for her mother to literally say that to her at that point in time after she just suffered a miscarriage was really unnecessary. So I agree with Whitney Houston on that. Ma, you got to go. I just suffered a miscarriage, and here you go. You're sitting over here telling me, well, I need to rethink things. This is a sign. I need to rethink things. That's not cool. Point blank to the period. That's just not cool. But she clearly loves her mother. They had a strong mother-daughter relationship as well as, same thing with Bobby Christina and her mother had a strong bond. So, in the end, her mother accepted that, her and Bobby Brown were together. So I guess all is well on that part. Mark Ralston played Clyde Davis, and I guess he was Whitney Houston's manager. The similarities was excellent, and it seemed like he had Whitney Houston's best interests at heart. When Whitney had her daughter, this was in the movie, when she had her daughter, she didn't want to focus on anything else but being a mother. And she told Clive that. She was like, well, Clive, I don't want to talk about anything for like a year or two. I want to be a mother right now. I'm not thinking about music or movies or whatnot. I'm thinking about being a mother. This is all I want to be. And Clive was like, okay, I understand you want to be a mother and everything, but, you're one of the greatest, artists that's happening right now. And if you stop right now, I mean, you pretty much just going to slip in the back. And Whitney was just like, I'm not talking about this right now. I just had a baby. I want to be a mother right now. So Whitney gets released from the hospital, her and her baby, and then Clive Davis calls Bobby Brown to like, you know, hey, I need to come see you, you know, come to my office about 3 o'clock. So Bobby thinking that maybe Clyde wants to put him in the movie or want to produce a record with him or something. No. Clyde Davis called Bobby over to convince Whitney to go ahead and keep her career going. Bobby looking like, let me get this straight. You called me on the phone, wanted me to come meet you so you could talk about me convincing my wife to go back to work after we just had a kid. So he was, you know, ticked off like, damn, Clyde, like, you really that cold? You really that cold to do stuff like that? But I don't think it was just that Bobby was upset about. He was upset at the fact that he thought that Clive Davis wanted to work with him. And once again, you know, it was about Whitney. Do I think that Bobby was jealous of Whitney's career? In my opinion, from what I saw in the movie, yeah, he was. I totally think that he was jealous of Whitney Houston a little bit because her career took off. Okay, his took off, but not to the extent that hers did. Not to the extent that he did, because like I said, there was a lot of negativity with Bobby, you know, on his part. Because remember, he was with New Edition once upon a time, then they kicked him out, and he went on his own, which he wanted to do anyway. But her career took off a lot more than he did. You know, she was not only singing, she was doing movies. What movies did this man do? I'm pretty sure he did, but they weren't as huge or as many as hers was. So I personally think there was a little jealousy, just a little bit. But yeah, that was kind of cold, Clyde. Whatever. Wesley Jonathan portrayed Babyface. Quite frankly, I don't think he looked anything like that. No, not think. He didn't look anything like Babyface. But whatever. I don't think there's a man out there that can even look similar to Babyface, except for his brothers. I'm sorry, I take that back. One of his brothers should have portrayed him. Boom, I said it. This is Angela Bassett. She directed the movie. I guess she didn't consider calling his brothers or whatnot. Who cares? Whatever. Really don't got much to say about him. He played Babyface. Obviously, you all know that he wrote and produced the Wait and Exhale movie soundtrack. That, still to this day, is the greatest freaking soundtrack to a movie. I'm gonna definitely make sure I make a playlist because I love that album. I really did. I think I had it, but I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, nothing negative to say about him portraying that. And I talked about her mom and her dad, but I never told you the guy who portrayed her father, and that was James A. Watson Jr., who portrayed Whitney Houston's father. Like I said, I don't think he was too thrilled about his daughter marrying Bobby Brown, but you know, in the end, they got married, had no choice but to accept it. They can clearly see how happy she was with him in the beginning, so they had no choice but to accept it. Now let's get to the real nitty-gritty here. The whole drug use thing. A lot of people claim or believe that Bobby Brown made Whitney do drugs. And I missed a little bit of the beginning of the movie, probably about 10-15 minutes of the movie. But when I came in, it looked like Whitney was already on the drugs. Bobby wasn't on anything in the beginning of the movie. So that led me to believe that, well, wait a minute. Bobby Brown wasn't the one who got her started on drugs. She was doing this before. She even met him. Wow. I don't think I recall saying that Bobby Brown was responsible for Whitney's drug use. If I did, I wasn't full on. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know these two personally. I don't know what happened behind closed doors with these two. But judging from the movie, it seemed like Whitney was on it before Bobby came along, and then he got on it with her. This is from the movie's perspective. You know, this was Angela Bassett's movie here, so I don't know if Whitney told her that she's been doing this or whatever, or maybe no, Angela Bassett wouldn't have witnessed. I don't think she's witnessed Whitney snorting cocaine in her cracking her nose. I don't think she has. I don't know. Or maybe Whitney told her herself. Like I said, those two were like this. They were real best buds. So, like I said, I don't know. I don't know these people personally like that. Whatever. But, and just like the Aaliyah movie, you know, we didn't see them, you know, die. You know, in this Whitney Houston movie, she did, the end of the movie was when, Whitney sung the song, I Will Always Love You. And then once again, it, you know, went to this bright light, and then it said that, you know, after such and such years have passed, Bobby and Whitney got divorced. She still sold a lot of records and did a lot of acting movies, and then unfortunately, you know, she had passed away. But her legacy and her music lives on to this day. Something similar to the Aaliyah movie. And that was it. So on a scale from 1 to 10, what did I think of the movie? Well, you already know with the Aaliyah movie, I really just give that a downright 0 because that just was just a piece of crap to me. Nothing against Aaliyah, of course, and her friends and family. But the Whitney Houston movie, I give it about an 8. I give it about an 8. The actors that portrayed the people in question did a great job. I will give them their props on, you know, portraying the characters, portraying the people. The only flaw I can possibly bring out here is that I wish it was longer instead of from 8 o'clock to 10. The movie should have been a little bit more longer. There should have. I really wanted to see a lot more of the moments and accomplishments that she has done throughout the years that she was, you know, that she was here with us. So yeah, I think that was probably the only flaw that I can see that they could have done. I really wish it was a little longer. Maybe like, you know, 8 to, you know, 12. You know, or at least, you know, something like, yeah, like 8 to 12. I think they could have knocked off a couple of the shows that was coming on after. Well, no, actually, after the movie Whitney went off, then it was Bobby Brown remembering Whitney when he was getting interviewed about Whitney Houston. So I personally think they could have bumped that. And I think afterwards they showed Whitney Houston live, and then they showed the movie Whitney again. I think they could have bumped that down a little bit more. You know, they could have bumped it. They could have showed that another day or something. But no. From 8 to 12, I think that would have been a little bit more of a length to throw in a little bit more. Like, they could have thrown a scene where she did Waiting to Exhale, and when she was doing the soundtrack, or when she was at the Michael Jackson concert, she was looking like really skinny, really just, ugh. You know, something like that. You know, they could have showed that, or the last time that or the Kelly Price, I think, or the last time that Kelly Price saw her alive and then she passed away, you know. The time length, it could have been better. That's just me. That's just my opinion of it. But I will say this, that the Whitney movie was a lot better than the Aaliyah movie. And I know people have been bashing you about playing Whitney Houston. Quite frankly, I got nothing negative to say about you. You played the part. You did the role. So, you know, thumbs up to you. Great job. The guy who played Bobby Brown, great job. Babyface, you was good. Good. Clyde Davis, you was cold. She was good. And the two people that played her parents, thumbs up. And final conclusion, Angela Bassett, you did a good job for your first time directing the movie. Great job. And like I said, you and Whitney were really close best friends, so I'm pretty sure she told you a lot of things, and you took that to heart, and then you put it in the movie. So I'll give you props on that. But other than that, fans, that's my opinion of the movie. So like I said, I give it an 8. Only flaw I see is it could have been a little bit longer. But maybe her family might get together like Aaliyah's family did and make it a motion picture of her life. And if they do, I will definitely be going to see it. I will definitely go see it, as well as the Aaliyah movie. Yeah, I'm sorry I keep bringing Aaliyah up in this video. I just, you know, these are two extraordinary, beautiful women who have made an influence in music and on our lives, and I really just think that their lives should be a motion picture like they did the whole Biggie Smalls and Tupac thing, you know, about their lives and how they made that a motion picture. You can't make that into a Lifetime movie, and I think I said that before. But, you know, these two women were very extraordinary, and I really think they should have just took these stories and turned them into motion pictures into theaters. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen anyway. You know, you just never know, but we'll see. But until then, I love you guys, and be on the lookout for season 2, episode 2 of Share My World. Hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday. Now I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I'm gonna have to pick an actual day where I'm gonna do an episode for you guys. But we'll figure that out, or I'll figure that out sooner or later. But stay classy, not trashy. And I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care.